Do you believe in dinosaurs, Oscar?
What do you mean? How could you argue that they don't exist or that they didn't exist?
Oh, I can't, but I've heard people argue it.
Every animal on Earth eventually goes back to the same animals.
How the fuck do we connect to octopuses? We don't. They're aliens. Next conspiracy theory. Boy trees make pollen and girl trees don't make pollen.
Are you about to ask me if pollen is cum?
Oh my god, is pollen cum?
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Hits Podcast. My name is Oscar. This is my sister, Sophia. This is our podcast. It's called the Hits Podcast, HTS, no I. Today, we are talking about conspiracy theories. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I think they're stupid. Sophia, I think, is an aspiring conspiracy theorist.
I could come up... oh my god. I could come up with really good ones, I think. You know what I mean? Like, on the fly.
She'll come up with shit on her own.
But I don't think I would actually ever, believe them. It has to be a real good conspiracy theory to...
Oh, wait, this is the disclaimer we need to put at the beginning.
None of this is real.
Shut up. I'm going to put it. I'm going to say it, and then I'm going to cut it out. And I'm going to put, the words. I'm going to put the words, and then it's just going to be, the audio from the and it's going to show up before anything else.
Wait, no, can I say it?
Shut up.
Look, I have a good one. Ready?
I doubt it's going to be good, but go ahead.
None of these theories are real, and if you actually believe them, you're a fucking idiot. This is for shits and giggles only, with love.
Okay, well, Sophia's a lot meaner about it than I would have been, but I'll leave it. Fuck it. I need to add up evidence that you're more of a dickhead than I am.
I know.
Because I think,
I'm
on the
joking
surface,
around too.
We've talked about this before. We talked about this before, though. On the surface, I'm way more of a dickhead than Sophia is. But if you know her, if you're actually close to her personally, Sophia is way more of a dickhead than I am.
I think it's layers.
I'm just more rough around. I'm more rough around the edges, but then on the inside,
I'm smooth and curvy.
Sophia is gilded, right? She's nice and soft and kind around the edges. But then if you just get a little further,
I got a hard center. You know what I mean?
Pokey, right? What is it? What is it that's like that? Isn't it cotton? Literally, if you pick cotton with your hand, if you reach squish into the cotton, there's spikes and shit on the little plant, isn't it? Or something like that.
How do you know this? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that's a thing.
Okay, I believe you. You know random stuff, so I wouldn't be like, what? That's right.
Anyway, Sophia's picking cotton, you know?
I'm picking cotton, or I'm like cotton, you dumb fuck.
Well, being around Sophia is like picking cotton, because you're the cotton. Yes, picking cotton by hand can be a painful experience. The cotton boils, which contain the fluffy cotton fibers, have sharp edges that can easily cut or prick the fingers of the picker. Damn, I knew it. That's crazy.
Nah, I want to be a rose, and I just have thorns.
You got to be pretty for that? That was too easy. That was so easy. Jeez. Anyways, none of these are real. We're just going to have a dumb conversation.
For fun.
Today. For fun. Okay. Sophia, I'll let you go first because I'm sure you're excited.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Actually, no. I'm going to start.
No.
Hey,
you go first.
Hey. I know. I was going to ask you 1, 2, or 3 to decide which one I want to do. But I decided before I even finished saying 1, 2, and 3. So if you had just shut up, I would have already been starting. Anyways, my first one. Oh my god, you notice how you interrupted me? You fucking jackhole. Anyways, my first one. Okay? Now this one is a commonly believed one. And do I believe this one? I don't know. The signs point to maybe. But it is. Why are you laughing so much?
I don't know.
But my first one, starting off strong, okay, are that our phones are listening to us.
That's not a conspiracy. That's true.
See, Oscar believes
this is the problem. Hold on. No, this is the problem with conspiracy theories.
Conspiracy?
First
That's how you
of all,
say it? Conspiracy?
Conspiracy.
Conspiracy.
Shut up. Figure it out in your head. This is the problem with conspiracy theories. People forget there's 2 parts to them. Conspiracy and theory. If it's real, it's not a theory, right? And if it just is, it's not a conspiracy. Conspiracy is when you, first of all, you have to have bad intentions. Second of all, there has to be a plan. There has to be intent. There has to be purpose, not just a correlation. You know what I mean? There has to be a causation effect, right? It is known widely and commonly that your phones listen to you. That's why you start getting ads for vacuum cleaners when you talk about vacuum cleaners one time. It's for the sake of like, I don't know what the sake is. I know it's like for customization, especially like Alexa. That bitch listens to you all the time. But it's so that they can like help you better, right? It's
Nah,
for
nah.
the whole claim. Hold on.
Listen.
The whole claim is
Well,
that
if you
for
let
the
me
algorithm.
talk about the conspiracy
Well, let me
theory,
say something real quick.
it would get a lot more conspiracical.
For the
Jeez. Fucking.
conspiracical. Real quick. Sophia, you guys know? I've only seen Wicked one time. Because I hate musicals. But you know how
there, that's all
you
you
know
need
how
to know.
you know how Galinda says all sorts of stupid words. We were watching it. I was in El Paso for the 4th of July, and I was back home for the 4th of July, and Sophia wasn't there. And my mom apparently loves that fucking movie, and so Les loves that movie.
Our
and my
sister.
dad was just on his phone. So then
And
my
our
mom
dad
put
was
the
just
movie
there.
on. My mom put the movie on, and I saw it for the first time. And she's saying all these stupid, nonsensical words, right? And then my mom laughed. She was like, "Oh, it's so funny how she says all these stupid ass words." And then our older sister was like, "Oh my god, Sophia didn't know that she was making up words. That was like part of the bit of the character." And we were like, "What?" And she was like, "The first time we saw it, I was like, it's so funny all the made up words." And Sophia was like, "There were made up words in that?"
Listen. Maybe I
It's
just
so funny.
wasn't
Hold on,
paying
it's so
enough
funny because the podcast we had just recorded, Sophia had made up Furiosity, which isn't a
Curiosity?
word.
That's
It's not a word. It's just fury.
curiosity is
You were
a word though,
confusing.
isn't it?
No, it's not. You were confusing fury and furious.
Oh,
You were
furious.
you knew that furious wasn't the word you were looking for, but
It
you
was
didn't realize
more.
that fury was the word you were looking for. So she said furiosity. Anyways, like Alexa, that bitch listens to you all the time. But the claim is that it's for the algorithm of the Alexa. Like she'll be able to assist you better if she knows what the fuck it is that you're into or you listen to or you're interested in. You know what I mean? That type of shit.
So now that Oscar's done explaining, mansplaining, that phones are listening to us, let me get to conspiracal part of it. Okay, conspiracial, whatever.
Conspiring.
Sure. Okay, so it's supposed to be to help us, right? But nah. I feel like fucking hide from that 70s show right now because of what I'm about to say.
Listen, man. Think about it.
Man, the government's listening to us. Like they're keeping tabs on everything. Fucking yeah. Well, Oscar already explained most of it, so I don't really have much else.
Where's the conspiracy part?
It's supposed to help us, but it's not helping us. It's just the government's way of spying on us. You know?
Do you feel like that is an infringement of your freedom?
I don't know. Do you?
I can't ask follow-up questions if you can't even answer the first fucking question.
Can you elaborate on the question, please?
Do you feel like you are less free with the government listening to you through your phone?
That's a very good question.
If they are, in fact, listening to you through your phone.
If they are, in fact, I would say... Well, see, the thing is, if they are, in fact, listening to our phones, like, fucking just listen. And then I feel like a lot of crime would be less crimey. You know what I mean? If they were listening, because then they could do something about it. But then that would be infringing on our, like, freedom and shit. Because then it's like, they're not allowed to do that because laws. You know what I mean? So then what are they doing with all of the information?
Here's the thing. This was perfect timing because the Suburbs Talks podcast just released an episode this week.
You did that?
And the title was, What Are Our Biggest Conspiracy Theories? Now, here's the thing. Sophia picked this topic for this week, and I'm not a conspiracy theory guy. I think it's a waste of time. Just having conspiracy theory conversations is a waste of time. But then I was like, oh, let me watch that episode so I can get some ideas because I'm not too familiar with all the conspiracy theories because I'm not a conspiracy theorist.
Wow, so you're just stealing the Suburb Talks episodes podcast?
I haven't said anything that they've said. Oh my God, I was so disappointed by that episode. Anyways.
Love you guys.
I'm not going to say why, but if you've seen it, you know why.
Oh, I don't think I've seen it yet.
So then, what was my point?
You have no point because you're dumb. Dummy. Dumb head. Fucking big ass, dumb ass, bitchy head.
Shut up. I'm trying to see.
See, if you were smarter, you would have already thought of it.
So
but you're not smart. You're
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say. Shut the fuck up. Here's the thing. They talked about all sorts of dumb shit, right? Right now, Sophia was like, yeah, but then that wouldn't be allowed because, like, laws. And that's like a third of a coherent argument, right? Because I guarantee you can't even tell me which laws it is that prohibit that. But anyways, one of the comments, and this is how I feel about conspiracies and conspiracy theories and conspiracy theorists in general. One of the comments on that video was, everything is a conspiracy theory if you don't know anything.
Ooh.
If you don't know shit about shit, yeah, everything's a fucking conspiracy theory. And that's my thing. Every time I see like a real fucking conspiracy theorist, it's always some dumb motherfucker that doesn't know shit about shit. Doesn't know how anything works. Doesn't know the basic physics or the basic math behind the topic they're arguing. Doesn't know the fucking laws behind the fucking you know what I mean? Doesn't know the actual legislation behind whatever it is they're talking about. It's always some dumb shit, right? Like I saw this dude. I watched this video one time. I don't know why, where this dude was arguing that the world is flat, right? And then the other dude was like, you realize like if you go in a plane and you fly up into the sky, you can literally start to see that the world is round. Like you can see it curving. And he's like, and then the dude was like, do you see that the world is round? Or are you just in a curved like glass dome that's like refract? And he didn't even say this because he doesn't even know the fucking words. Are you behind a curved piece of glass that's warping the image that you're seeing? What he means is refracting, right? Like a fisheye. Don't, like that's a good point, you stupid fuck. Not all curved glass refracts light. It has to be a certain type. You stupid ass.
I do not
so it's
think
shit
that the
like
world
that.
is flat. I just want to clarify.
Yeah, she's just being dumb. So it's shit like that where it's like you don't even understand the basic physics of what refraction is and how it happens. And not every piece of glass is refracting what's behind it. You know what I mean? And yet you're using that as the basis of your argument that the earth is flat. You know what I mean? Stupid fucking people, right? Anyways, shit like that. My point is, my point is
to us through our phones.
Way too many people don't know shit about shit. And then they're just like, oh, and then there's these stupid ass people that are like, oh, you don't know, you never did it yourself. No one has done everything themselves, you fucking morons. Like, that's like saying I don't know my phone works because I didn't invent the phone myself. It still fucking works, you fucking asshole. Anyways, I hate conspiracy theorists.
It was Oscar's idea.
Everything's a
No,
it wasn't. It was yours. You picked it.
Shut the fuck up. Listen. He was like, what should we talk about in the next episode? He's like, he gave like 3 options or something. He's like, but I'm leaning towards conspiracy theories. And I was like, yeah, we could
just
do
because
that.
I knew you would like that one, and I knew that would be an easy one to prep for. Anyways, if I'm gonna have a conspiracy theory argument, you have to know what the fuck you're talking about, and you have to have a decent foundation, like a decent foundational understanding of the topic, or you're just an idiot that just doesn't know how things work. You know what I mean? Like,
see, what Oscar doesn't understand is half of the fun of conspiracy theories
are that being an idiot or what?
that they're fucking stupid, and it's fun to just lean into that.
No, it's not. No. Anyways,
but some of them, I'm not gonna even lie. Some of them, it's like, oh my god, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, you almost had me for a minute there.
Tell me the next one. The
next one? Oh, I only have 3. Are we gonna go through mine and then through yours?
Well, go ahead. Yeah, sure.
Okay, so this is my next one. I believe that aliens are real. Let me tell you why.
That's the one I saw. Sophia, like an idiot, sent me a screenshot of her list of conspiracy theories that she was going to talk about. I meant to send it to myself to put on my
tablet, but then I sent it to Oscar.
And then I saw it, and then she yelled at me for saying it.
Wow. Anyways, I believe that aliens... The way I said it was like in Avatar, I believe that Aang can save the world. But like, that's how I said it, like, aliens are real.
Hold on. Okay, hold on. I need you to define what you mean. Because here's the thing. If by alien, you mean a living thing not from Earth, that's one thing, right? Any living thing anywhere in the universe, as long as it's not on Earth, that qualifies as alien in your eyes? Okay. I haven't seen the universe. I can't say that for sure. That's not a thing,
I can't
right?
confirm nor deny.
Deny, right? Okay, fine. if you're one of these people that thinks aliens are real and like living among us disguised as regular people, like people think that Elon Musk is an alien, like an actual, like Men in Black, like alien disguised as a person, fucking shit up here on Earth.
I kind of believe something in between those two. Listen, I don't know if I actually believe it, but I heard it and I was like, Well, I heard one thing, and then I started thinking about another thing, and I was like, But listen. Like Oscar said, the universe is a big, grand thing, and we haven't explored everything. So chances are that there is living life outside of Earth. I feel like, come on. You know what I mean? We can't be the only ones here. Right? So yes, that in that aspect. However, I believe, okay, that there are aliens among us. I can't even fucking take myself serious.
This is the problem too. Sophia literally is just having fun, just saying shit.
Listen.
She's not actually talking about what she actually believes.
Listen. Hear me out. I don't think that there's aliens. Like, I don't think fucking Oscar was switched at birth with an alien and he's an alien, and like fucking Elon Musk is an alien disguised as a human. Okay, now I think humans are a species and we're all just humans. But some of these fucking animals out here, man, I don't know if they came from Earth, okay? Like fucking octopuses, okay? They have 3 hearts and their blood is blue. You can't fucking tell me that that shit is a natural Earth-born fucking creature. So I think they were like living on a meteor or something, and they somehow landed here on Earth, and now they're just here. But they've been here so long, they're just like an animal. But nah, like what other fucking creature does a fucking octopus look like? You know what I mean? You get me?
These fucking animals, bro. No, I don't get you. There are other animals that are very closely related to octopi.
And I think those are aliens too.
Here's the thing. I know with cacti and with cactus and octopus, the plural is the pi. But that shit's so annoying to me to say. It feels so weird saying octopi. Anyways, yeah, there are other closely related animals like a fucking like squid aren't too far. There's another one. What's it called? I think it's called a cuttlefish. Pretty similar build up, but they can change color and like they're better at camouflaging than octopuses are.
Why do you assume that those are also naturally earthborn creatures? Those are part of
because you're only making the argument for octopi.
Well, that was an example.
Anyways, you know what I saw one time? I was at Walmart and it was Halloween season, and this is how you know Halloween people are stupid. By the way, I've seen some people already posting that it's like currently now already Halloween season. Fuck you. Anyways,
he was saying that directly to me.
No, you haven't posted anything. It was Halloween season and I was at Walmart, right? And there was a bunch of Halloween decorations everywhere. And then they had like some skeletons, like lawn decorations, right? Like a little dog, and it's a skeleton of a dog, right? Like a fossil type thing. But so you could put it out on the yard and like, you know, spooky and Halloween and whatever. There was an octopus skeleton like on the shelf for you to put in your yard. I'm not going to explain why that's stupid, but if you don't know why it's stupid, you're stupid. Anyways, moving on.
I don't think you're stupid.
Yes, she does. Anyways,
that's my theory. My real world theory
that
is like
some animals are aliens.
But they've just been around us so long, they're not like now you get into the fucking topic of like, well, are they still aliens because they've been here so long? You know what I mean?
What makes them an alien?
What makes an alien an alien? Is it just from going off a different planet?
You know, Superman's an alien? Superman's an illegal alien, an illegal immigrant in the U.S.
I don't believe he's real, though. That's ridiculous. Come on, be reasonable, Oscar.
That was so good. I don't believe he's real, though.
But yeah.
That's going to be so funny. That's going to be such a good clip. I believe aliens are real. You know Superman's an alien? I don't believe he's real, though.
But you get
All
me?
right. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I don't agree with you. But anyways, you know what I can't stand?
Me.
Sorry, I'm just going to be complaining a lot this video. I can't stand what, you know how people say, like, would you rather explore the ocean or explore space? If
Yeah.
you are fucking dumb enough to pick the ocean, I can't stand you. People are like, there's so much we don't know about the ocean. We haven't explored like 90% of it. We only know this. We haven't seen the ocean floor. Blah 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 blah. We know with absolute certainty that the ocean is limited. It's finite in size. Even if we haven't explored most of it, we're gonna get to the end of it, right?
Mhm.
As far as we know, the universe is unlimited. How the fuck could the ocean possibly compare in its potential to the fucking universe? You know what I mean? So dumb. Anyways, no, actually, I've heard.
Counterpoint.
Hold on.
Hold on.
You're
No,
not
no.
the only dumb motherfucker that thinks ocean creatures are aliens. I've seen this shit on Instagram where they're like,
Oh, have you?
where they're like, everybody assumes. Well, hold on. First of all, there was a movie, Pacific Rim, where it was like everybody thought the aliens were gonna come from space. They came from the ocean. It was actually a portal at the bottom of the ocean, so it doesn't count in my opinion. Anyways, then I've heard people be like, "You think aliens are in space? Nah. Look at this crazy looking creature that lives in the ocean. This is a fucking alien." And I know you're just being dumb, but that post was being serious. I'm like, it doesn't fucking. They're like, it's crazy how different and unique like the way the animal's body works, like the different part, like whether it's like the camouflage of like the cuttlefish or like
That's
the
what
texture
I'm
of the
saying.
skin and all that shit. I'm like, it doesn't fucking matter how different they are from us. They still evolved and developed here. They're not an alien. No matter how weird, no matter how interesting, no matter how different they are. It's not a fucking alien. It's from Earth. You know what I mean? Like, just fundamentally,
though?
off of
Is it?
definition,
Is
that's
it?
fucking stupid. That's fucking stupid. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh.
we could have fucking giant walking spider people, but if they developed and evolved here, they're not fucking aliens. You know what I mean? Like,
Fucking abominations.
someone's prejudiced.
Fuck spider. Ooh, imagine.
Oh, yeah, I forget.
Imagine. I would cry.
You know what I mean? Like,
No.
if it originates and evolves on Earth, it's not a fucking alien. No matter how different, no matter how mind-blowing, no matter how different, no matter how unique, no matter how special, it's not an alien by definition. Like, that's fucking dumb.
Do you believe in dinosaurs, Oscar?
What do you mean?
Do you believe
Like-
in dinosaurs?
Do I believe they existed?
Yeah.
How could you argue that they don't exist or that they didn't exist?
Oh, I can't, but I've heard people argue it. What?
Oh, I can't.
I was just curious, you know?
That's so funny. Yes, I believe dinosaurs existed.
Mm-hmm.
There was some. There's this one dumb bitch. I'm not gonna say her name, but she's a pretty prominent on social media. She said dinosaurs seem fake. She was arguing that dinosaurs don't exist or that they're not real or that they weren't real.
Mhm.
And she was like, yeah, like I was hearing the whole theory about like dinosaurs and fossils and this and that, and I was kind of like, that seems kind of fake and gay. And she keeps on arguing.
Why gay? What the fuck?
I don't know.
Where did that even
That's my point.
come from?
That's my point. Where I'm like, did she just call dinosaurs gay? What the fuck? Like,
Damn.
here's the thing.
We started off friends.
What from? This is also the I fucking hate these arguments. They're so dumb to me. If you take a crocodile and you first of all, I don't think people even understand how big crocodiles are. They're fucking enormous, right? If let's say you just made it 5-10 times bigger, like enormous, like the size of a fucking bus, like as thick as a bus and like as long as like 3 buses.
Mm-hmm.
What is the fundamental difference between that and your understanding of a dinosaur?
You know what trips me out? Not to change the subject.
No, answer
No,
the
no, no.
question. Answer the question. Nothing, right? Exactly. So it's that type of shit where like, despite all of the fossils, despite all of the, you can actually find like fucking, what's it called? Not preserved, I guess preserved. There are animals, because here's the thing, it's not just fossils. Fossils are kind of like cast settings, right? Where it's like, it's the fossil, it's the bones, and then the earth hardens around it, and then the bones eventually like dissolve or wear away. And then there's different like minerals that fill that space, and then those minerals harden over time, and then that's the fossil, right? It's like cast setting.
Mm-hmm.
You ever see those videos where like they pour gold into like a little thing, and then it's like solidifies in that shape?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. And so there's this argument that it's like, that's not a real animal. That's not the only way things happen. There's also things that get like in Jurassic Park, the movie, the whole idea that whatever fucking animal was preserved in amber, that shit actually happens. You know what I mean? There are actual animals or actual bones or this or that sometimes get preserved. That's not a fossil in the same way where like it created this cast and then the minerals replaced it after it decomposed. Like, no, it was actually preserved and there's actual fucking DNA to find and study. Like, first of all. Second, how the fuck can you see a fucking crocodile, which is a dinosaur in every sense of the word aside from its size, and then still be like, nah, there's no way dinosaurs ever existed on Earth? It's right fucking in front of you.
I think
You know what I mean?
dinosaurs were also aliens, and crocodiles are also aliens.
She's lying. So it's that type of shit where like, and then also people don't understand. Like, again, here's the thing. This is what I was saying earlier, where people don't know shit about shit. People don't understand. There was a period of time on Earth where all animals were fucking enormous, right? There was a time where dinosaurs were big as fuck. There was a time where anacondas, as big as they are, were way fucking bigger. There was the fucking megalodon, which is like an enormous fucking shark, like the size of a whale, right? There was fucking American lions were the biggest lions there ever were, right? Not, I don't know about ever, but they were bigger than lions of today. Fucking dire wolves are like enormous wolves from like Game of Thrones. Those were real animals, right?
Fucking Starks. You don't get it. It's
anyways,
fine.
yeah, I don't get it.
Just you have to put me big right there.
Yeah. Short-faced bears, giant ground sloths, right? There was a time where like everything was fucking huge, and the reason being is because the atmosphere was like, the atmosphere had a higher concentration of oxygen. Then there's dumb people that are like, were you there? How do you know the atmosphere had higher levels of oxygen? You stupid idiots. What happens, have you ever heard of like glacier, like core drilling?
Mm-hmm.
So when glaciers form, when the ice forms like in layers, layer after layer, but then there's air bubbles that get trapped in between the layers.
Yeah.
Those air bubbles are pure air from the atmosphere of that time, right? Because the atmosphere there's no affecting it. It kind of has its own natural balance. So it's that type of shit where you drill further into the fucking glacier or into the ice, you're going back in time to old air bubbles because the ones that are underneath have been trapped there longer than the ones that are at the surface. And then you can measure the levels, the amount of oxygen and shit through each air bubble as time goes on. So it's shit like that where it's consistent, where you find older air from way, way, way long ago has higher levels of oxygen, which is why everything was fucking enormous. So it's like, it's shit like that. Like, if you don't know how air works, if you don't know the fact that ice forms layer after layer, if you don't know that you can fucking measure the amount of oxygen in a given amount of air, like, no shit, you don't understand how it works. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
people
Oscar
have such
knows. Oscar, this is because you're going on this tangent, right? And it's just reminding me that you just know like a bunch of random shit of like everything.
That's what I'm saying. Is like people are so uneducated in so many things, and it's like, just because you can't understand something doesn't mean it doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? You just don't understand it. You don't know shit.
Okay, I'll do you one better then. See if you can explain this, Mr. Smarty Pants. Okay. Have you heard?
So fucking stupid.
Have you heard the theory of like, yes, dinosaurs are real, but the way that we like make, like, the way, if you think of a T-Rex, you can think of the animal, right? Have you heard the theory of like they actually don't like look like that? Like, yes, the big structure is generally the same, but like that's not exactly it. Or sometimes people get like, there's two dinosaurs that died really close together and then they accidentally mix some of the bones.
Yeah.
I think that's plausible. Like, I do think like,
what's plausible? What's the question here?
That like
that they don't look the way we think they did?
Potentially, not all of them, because I'm pretty sure there are some that were like fully preserved.
Oh yeah.
But like, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah. First of all, there are certain things that do end up being preserved. Like I've seen shit about, and then we get into this argument about like, oh, you saw it on the internet, it was fake. Anyways, there are certain arguments that like we may not be reconstructing the animals properly. But that's the other thing is like, people always like, they do too much. Like, you give them an inch and they take a mile, right? Within science, within the like community, right? My understanding is that every professional scientist, they understand that to an extent, it's all in theory. You know what I mean? They're not trying to be right. They're trying to figure shit out. So they're like, this is what we think is it. This is what we think it is. This is our best guess at this time. And then people take that to discredit everything. And they're like, oh, so you don't even know. And it's like, some things are impossible to know, right? But we can do our best based off the evidence we have and the tests that we run to arrive at, close to a conclusion. That doesn't mean that all these tests are invalid, though. You know what I mean? Anyways, so I've seen shit where they're like, yeah, we might be constructing these all wrong. Because look, this is the skull of a hippo. You see the skull of a hippo? It looks fucking monstrous. And they're like, if we were just a typical dinosaur guy, we would think that this skull belonged to an animal that looked something like this. The reality is, this skull belongs to this cute, cuddly face that is the hippo. So, yeah, like, it's possible, and it's
Like, it would
probably,
be
like,
interesting.
yeah,
you know?
it would
Like,
be interesting to see, but it's that type of shit where they're like, where people are like, see,
But we'll
scientists are
never
full of
know.
shit, and it's like they're not full of shit; they're just trying their best. So yeah, it's possible that shit doesn't look the way we thought it did. Well, I think, to my understanding, a largely the most popular theory at this point in time is that dinosaurs actually weren't like reptilian the way we've long thought they were.
I think they had fur.
People say that they had feathers.
Well, I think they have fur.
Okay, good for you, you stupid ass.
Thank you.
She thinks that for no reason at all, with no sort of evidence, with no fucking testing, no DNA, no fucking nothing. Anyways, because people, well, it's also, to my understanding, been long
Oh,
known.
imagine a fucking T-Rex with feather, like a picture of the T-Rex. but they
Yeah,
just
that's
have,
what
like,
people are
chicken
saying. Yeah,
feathers.
that's what people are saying.
Like, that's funny.
Like, well, people have long said that birds are the closest living relatives to dinosaurs, right? Like the chicken is the closest living relative to a T-Rex. But then if you look at certain things, like there's like a cassowary, right? If you look at that bird and you take off the feathers, it's not very far from what we understand to be a dinosaur. Especially like if you look at, I'm gonna put pictures of all this. If you look at the feet, like the claws, the scaliness of the skin, the this, the that, like that's straight up dinosaur type shit. So people think nowadays that like they were more so like giant birds, or like kind of like ostrich type thing, where it's like doesn't fly exactly, but it's still like, yeah,
Do you think? And I'll tell you how I got to this thought process.
I hate-
Why are you laughing already?
Because I hate how you ask me, do you think? Like this is like a real, like, serious question. You know what I mean? Like,
It is a real serious question. This is the most serious question I'm gonna ask today. Okay? Do you think that animals? Oh, I got cherry juice on my shirt. Anyways,
are you gonna
do
ask?
you think? Yes. Do you think that animals have names for themselves? Like, we as a species have decided that humans are called humans and cats are called cats and dogs are dogs, right? But do you think like a fucking
Cats call themselves something else, and they call humans something other than
something
humans?
else? Yeah.
That would make sense, but that operates off
Right?
of the assumption that they have like that advanced a form of communication.
I'm thinking. Okay, because listen, you were talking about the dinosaurs, right? And then I started thinking, right here, I want you to put like the little fucking, you know, the little math one, the like. Okay.
Oh,
Anyways, I was thinking.
I'll see if I can do that. Go ahead.
I was thinking. While you were talking about the fucking dinosaurs, I was thinking like, damn, we call them dinosaurs. And what if they do have feathers and we just like we're like butchering their image, you know? Like imagine if the meteor comes and then all humans are extinct, right? And then some other like high intelligent species forms, gets here, whatever, and then they find our fossils and they're like, look, this is the humans. But then like they give us feathers. You know what I mean? Like imagine a human with just feathers. And that's just like what they think we looked like. And what if we're doing that to the dinosaurs? And then they wouldn't call us humans because they don't know like humans are the word. They'd be like, look at the schlingo blockers. You know what I mean? And it's just like something completely different and random. Yeah. Imagine? Do you think that'd be crazy, huh?
Yeah, it would be crazy.
Anyways, moving on. I have one last conspiracy
Hold on.
theory if you want to hear.
I had another question.
Okay.
Ask
it.
I had thought at some point in time, I was like, because here's the thing. This might be darker than I realized. I assume on the long-term scale, humans are gonna go extinct at some point, right? Whether like we bomb ourselves.
I feel like that's inevitable for like all
animals.
species.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the thing. That's the thing is like when people make a huge deal out of like, oh, this species is extinct or this species is going extinct. Like it's unfortunate. It's not unfortunate. It's fucked when they're going extinct because people are stupid, right? like rhinos are going extinct because people are stupid and they fucking rip their horns, like poachers
Pow,
rip their
pow.
horns out of their
Yeah.
faces because they believe it's a fucking aphrodisiac or whatever. Like that's stupid and that sucks, right?
Yeah.
But animals going extinct in general, that's not a big deal. 99% of
Do
all
you
animals that
think?
have hold on, 99% of all animals that have ever exist are extinct right now. You know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah.
natural. That's
Like
normal.
dinosaurs.
That's part of evolution. Like
Which
nothing
might
new
have been
can
another
come if
name.
and nothing new can exist if everything that is continues to be, right? Philosophical. Anyways,
Whoa.
so then I've always thought that humans aren't gonna last, right? Whether like we bomb ourselves to the Stone Age or like there's like an apocalypse or like fucking something over like thousands and thousands and thousands of years, eventually we're not gonna make it, right? But like then there's like interstellar travel and all that stuff. Anyways, you know what I've thought? I'm like, I wonder if technically there will ever be like a new species
Of
that is
human
like,
or what?
yeah, like humans are going to
Human?
evolve to the point where they're no longer Homo sapiens. They're no longer technically like the same species. And I'm like, at that point, are they still human? Because it still came from like, they still came from us, but like they need to,
Well, are
but they're
monkeys
different.
human?
But they're different. You know what I
You
mean?
know what I mean? Because
But
have
like
you
if
heard
it's
about the
gonna,
whole
but it
monkey
hold on. But if
or
they're
the
gonna
pussy related?
evolve, if they're gonna evolve from us, they have to be smarter or the same or like like a better version of us. You know what I mean?
Does
But
that mean they're
then,
just all schmexy with like fat asses?
but then that was before I learned how speciation, I believe is the word, happens. Basically, it's kind of impossible for that to happen.
Oh, I think
Cause hold on,
that the
real
Earth
quick.
will die before humans die. Can't even really
Speciation, speciation is when speciation
speciation.
is when it's like an official branch off, right?
Okay.
So like you know how humans and Neanderthals are two different things? They both came from one thing. So the point in time where humans are officially so distinct in their DNA that they can't breed with Neanderthals, that's when it's speciation. That's what technically makes a new species is when they can no longer breed with each other
Oh.
because they're so different genetically, right?
Yeah.
That's speciation. That
Huh.
very, very, very often only happens through significant extended separation, right? So there's this group of animals, like let's say they're both creature A. There's this group of creature A, this group of creature A, but they're so far apart that these continue breeding and continue creating new people and continue developing genetically. And then these continue breeding and creating new people and developing genetically. And eventually they develop genetically so much that what's new, those two things cannot breed, even though the original things were the same species, right? That's how that happens. Typically, it requires separation, like literal physical separation, because if these are all breeding and they have grandchildren, these are all breeding and they have children,
And those
grandchildren,
grandchildren
that's
start
not
breeding.
enough.
Yeah.
And those grandchildren
Yeah.
start fucking. They're not different enough to no longer be compatible, right?
Yeah.
Now, technically, it can happen where even being around each other, it still manages to separate enough to create a new species, but it's very rare. So as a matter of fact, you know how before America was discovered, there was this separation in the world, right? Because I don't know if you know the Native Americans and everything, their ancestors, the way they got to the Americas themselves is because you know how Alaska and Russia are really close to each other.
Mm-hmm.
There used to be a land bridge where it was like glaciers and ice and whatever, and it was connected.
Mm-hmm.
So people migrated from Asia, from the Asia-Russia area, migrated over the land bridge, and then eventually filled up the Americas. And then that land bridge eventually disappeared. And then they developed for hundreds of years. And so the Eastern world understood, like kind of like didn't remember that there used to be a land bridge and that there was people that moved over here.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't know that, the Western world existed, which is why it was discovered. And it was the new, there's a whole fucking thing over there. Anyways, but in that separation, if the people of the Americas, the Native Americans, and the people of Asia and Europe and Africa and everything, if they continue to be separated, because Asia is connected to Europe, which is super close to Africa, and Australia is not that far, right? it's easy for them to stay mingled among each other to an extent. But the separation that is the Pacific and the Atlantic Ocean between the Americas and between the Eastern world, if they continued to just be separated for long enough, eventually you would get the speciation where the people that exist on the Americas are a different species than the people that exist in Europe and Asia because they've developed so far genetically that they can't breed anymore.
Do you think, I might sound really stupid asking this question, but fuck it.
But that would have happened if Christopher Columbus and all these other motherfuckers didn't discover
Yeah.
America and start fucking shit up.
You know how like people, humans, whatever you want to call us, have different like skin tones? You know what I mean? Listen. Walk with me here.
Hold on. This is already scary.
No, listen.
What?
Do you think that happened because we were already starting to like develop and fucking adapt to our climates before we, you know what I mean? But then we
that is what happened.
You know what I mean? But then we like found a way to connect again, and so we started evolving together again. You get me? Do you think that's why?
Yes and no. That is why, but it's not necessarily that simple.
It's that simple. I'm a genius. I can understand hard things like that.
No, it is scientific fact that darker skin, the reason it's darker is because you're in the sun more. That's why, like,
it evolved.
Not to get into stereotypes here. That's why black people don't use sunblock in the same way and to the same extent that white people do.
Because their skin's more
white people
resilient to the sun.
It's more capable of being in the sun. That's also why if you're in the sun, you generate vitamin D, right? White people generate way more vitamin D per unit of time being in the sun than black people do. Because way back when, black people have their ancestry in Africa typically, right? Which has way more fucking sunlight than Europe, than Russia, than Asia, right? In Europe or in like England, the sun is out like fucking 3 days out of the year. So it was that type of shit. Their skin is way lighter because they get way less sun. So if and when the sun is out, they need to fucking absorb as much as they can to make as much vitamin D as they can because they don't get the opportunity as much. Whereas people in Africa or people that exist in climates where it's really sunny, they have much darker skin. Native Americans had darker skin than fucking Europeans. Africans have way darker skin than Europeans. You know what I mean? That's how that developed through but that's the type of shit that happened before civilization even existed. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, crazy. Anyways, are you ready to hear my last conspiracy theory?
What else was I gonna say?
I don't know.
Oh, so wouldn't that be crazy if we had two different species of essentially humans?
Do you think that's what us and monkeys are?
That's not how it works. People don't and that's the other thing.
Okay, no. We're already almost
people
done.
Are like, you're telling me we come from monkeys? That's not how it works. You can't argue. You can't disregard the theory of evolution if you don't even understand it. Anyways, we don't come from monkeys. We have a similar ancestor. We share an ancestor.
That's why I said. That's why I said. Do you think that's what happened with us and monkeys? Because there was before branch.
That's what happened with everything, Sophia.
No, I think just monkeys.
Every animal on Earth eventually goes back to the same animals.
How the fuck do we connect to octopuses? We don't. They're aliens. Next conspiracy theory.
No, you can actually. There's a chart that shows like the connections of what was this and this was that and whatever.
Anyways,
so it's that type of shit where there was an animal. That animal had some amount of separation. Those two separated populations developed, and eventually this group became something that looks like a caveman, and this group became something that looks like a fucking ape. And then those still had subsets that separated and developed, and eventually there were fucking chimpanzees, bonobos, monkeys, this, that, whatever, Neanderthals, Homo erectus, Homo sapiens. Man. There's a bunch of other subspecies of humans that existed before us and existed around the same time we did, but they went extinct because we fucking killed them because we're smart. The thing is not there was a chimpanzee and then it shat out a fucking human baby. That's not how it works. It's like when you trace it back, they get closer and closer.
I don't believe you. But anyways, moving on to my last topic at least. Okay. Did you know? You might know this because as we clearly just saw after this 30-minute lecture.
Sophia didn't expect this to be an educational episode from me.
I didn't, but that's what it is. Okay. So the point is, you might already know this. Boy trees make pollen and girl trees don't make pollen. That's like a thing. Do you know this?
Are you about to ask me if pollen is cum or some shit? Like,
oh my god, is pollen cum? That's a great point. That's That's not what I was gonna say.
Jesus, we're so fucking
But
stupid.
interesting. No, that's not what I was gonna say. Boy trees make oh my god, yeah. Because boy
Some
trees
people are allergic to pollen.
Boy trees make pollen, which give people allergies, right? And then girl trees typically don't. Girl trees are typically the ones that like have fruit, right? Because apparently there's boy and girl trees, which I didn't know, but I found out. So my conspiracy theory, I saw this.
It's actually a spectrum.
I saw this, right? But apparently, like companies and people will plant more boy trees because they're easier to handle. How true that is, I don't know, because I've never handled one. But they're easier to handle, apparently, like upkeep and stuff. But yeah. I think big allergy medicine brands like Benadryl or whatever are just fucking planting boy trees.
They're like, nah, we need to keep these allergies up.
So we gotta keep this shit up. So that they can fucking sell more allergy medicine.
Big Pharma is excluding girl trees. That's a good one. I've never heard that one, and I know a fucking conspiracy theorist, like a true conspiracy theorist, would eat that shit up.
Eat that shit up. Yum, yum, yum. See, that's something where like I'm not like 100% sold, but if it's something that came out to where like I must confess, this is what I've been doing, I'd be like, I'm not surprised. It's one of those ones, you know what I mean? But again, I don't know enough about like maybe it is just easier upkeep or like whatever, you know what I mean? But also, I saw another when I went down the rabbit hole of the pollen and the trees and all of that, there was one chick that had said a conspiracy theory is like, instead of going the fucking allergy and like medicine and so that you can like have to buy more and make more money, yada, 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 right? Her thing was like, no, why don't you ever see like apple trees in the wild? Or why don't you ever see fucking like fruit trees in the wild? It's because they don't want you to be able to just fucking go and like you have to
apples.
Just get like you have to go like pay for that shit, and it's just like another layer of fucking how did she say it? Like just keeping it like a consumer. Yeah, like can't do that.
They got rid of all the wild apple trees.
Yeah.
Just like the wild cows.
Exactly. Have you ever seen a wild apple tree or a wild cow? I haven't. Okay. Anyways. And I saw that, I was like, interesting. And then I was like,
that's in the intro. That's in the intro.
And I was like, let's take this one step further. Allergies.
That's so funny.
But yeah. That's my last conspiracy theory.
I just wanted to look something up real quick. So yes, there are some species of tree that have male and female trees, but then there are also some species of trees where they're
unisex.
Yeah, like just within the same tree, it has the male and female parts, and it can technically pollinate itself. Or like it doesn't have to travel that far. So what's the question here? Do I think Big Pharma is being sexist against trees so that they can keep your allergies fucked up?
Yeah. That wasn't an immediate no. No, that was a thinking.
No, I would say no. I would say no because first of all, not all tree types have male and female trees, right? Second, I don't know which tree types have male and female trees. Like, are apple trees the types of trees that have male and female trees, or are they not?
We'll look it up.
You know what I mean? Well, hold on. So if they are if they are in fact the type, what would be the advantage of having only male trees if you're trying to farm apples? If the female trees are the ones that make the apples, it would make more sense to have a bunch of female trees and then have one male tree fuck all the female trees.
No, but like just trees, like just like right now, like where I am, as I'm seeing like decorative trees or whatever. You know what I mean?
You think Big Pharma is paying landscaping companies to only plant male trees so people can have allergies?
Yep. I wonder
it's
why
not
though.
Beyond, it's not beyond the realm of possibility, but I mean,
I want to know what the thought process behind like just these trees. Why they use like pine trees, right? I see a pine tree right now, right there, that motherfucker, right? Why did they decide that they wanted to plant pine trees instead of like an apple tree? You know what I mean? Like, I wonder if that, like again, the upkeep is like different or like
exactly,
you know,
exactly. I was gonna say that's
and
the
like
type
how
of shit
different.
That's the type of shit that people that really don't know shit about the industry, that really have never been in the industry, have never studied the industry, they'll just arrive at their own conclusions. I would think, I don't know this for a fact, I would think there are certain types, there's a lot of things. First of all, not every species of tree can grow in every environment, right? So you have to take that into consideration. If you're doing landscaping, you don't want to plant a tree that's going to die, right? You want it to be able to stay alive.
Yeah.
So not every tree is going to be able to grow in every environment. If you are a landscaping company that operates on a very large scale and you don't want to have to keep track of we can only buy this many of this type of tree because we can only plant them here. We can only buy this many of this type of tree because we can only plant them here. You know what I mean? It's harder to keep track of different types of trees and how much you're getting of each, as opposed to just give me a bunch of those because we can plant them everywhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's cheaper. It's less maintenance. It's less to keep track of.
More
it's
effective.
easier business, more efficient, easier business,
Efficient,
right?
That's the one.
Easier business, right?
Yeah.
Not only do not all trees live everywhere, but there is maintenance, there is upkeep, there is a certain amount of, you don't want to plant a fucking redwood in an apartment complex.
Why not?
Redwoods are fucking enormous.
Why
They
is
grow
that
huge. They're gonna.
That'd be cool.
I mean,
Imagine.
it would.
It would.
Not only, but then also, can they live through Minnesota winters? Right? They're in California. California is not that cold, so it's that type of shit where like you have to take into consideration whether or not they can survive in the environment. You have to take into consideration how big are they, right? If you're gonna plant them on the sidewalk, in between the sidewalk and the fucking road, you don't want a fucking redwood. It's gonna fuck up the road, fuck up the sidewalk. You have to cut it down. The hippies are gonna get mad at you for cutting it down. You know what I mean? Like, there's also practicality that comes into it. And then I would think there's also a certain amount of consideration for maintenance as far as like pine trees or like evergreens that don't lose all of their leaves and drop them all over the sidewalk and the road every single winter, every single fall, right? I would think those different things go into it. I would think those different factors play a role, but it's really easy to not think or know any of that and just go, oh, they planted this because it has pollen and they want to give me allergies. You know what I mean? Like,
nope, that's why they did it. But also, going back to
it,
I do know what you mean. But going back to it, I wonder what environment apple trees are from. You know what I mean? Because like it is weird. Like maybe there are wild trees in just the environment I'm at. Like
that's what I was gonna say too. That's what I was gonna say too. Like you've never really been in the wild. Almost every tree you've ever seen was planted when that neighborhood was built, or when that school was built, or when that park was built. You know what I mean?
I've never seen a wild tree, guys.
You've never like truly just been out in the untouched, uninfluenced, in the forest, fucking landscape. You know what I mean?
Do you think there's still a lot of that around?
Yeah. Have you driven through Texas, bro? Well, a lot of Texas is desert, but like have you seen the video on YouTube where it's the U.S.?
So yeah.
It's the U.S. basically where like the Mississippi River cuts through the U.S. Like 80% of the U.S. population lives east of that, and like all of the shit on the west, all of the shit west of that, like most of it is like in Los Angeles, and then like fucking 60% of everything past that is in Los Angeles or some shit. So like there's a lot of open space, or a lot of just uninhabited land in the U.S. uninhabited by like people. Someone owns it probably. In the U.S. like it's crazy. Mm-hmm. Not all of it is forest. Some of it's like plains and the mountains and the desert and the this and whatever the fuck.
And different terrains. Yeah. Now you got me thinking, have I ever seen a like planted tree? Probably when we went to Jamaica. Because it was a more forest thing. It wasn't like...
No, you jackass. When you drive to San Antonio, there's a point where Texas stops being a desert. And there's trees and forests and like just regular shit.
Maybe I just haven't driven through there in a recent enough time. Yeah, like to like remember it super clearly.
Driving to San Antonio, driving through Houston, going to Alabama, Tennessee, all of that shit.
Can't remember like how the drive there. Like I believe you, don't get me wrong, but like I feel like it was so long ago. Like I just don't remember anymore.
Yeah. Anyway,
but I remember Jamaica because it was like what, last year?
It was like 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Not when I was like 6. Anyways.
No, the reason I said gave the like you probably never seen a tree that wasn't planted by a person is because El Paso's a fucking desert. And there's all sorts of trees throughout all the neighborhoods, and there's like pine trees and this. There's nothing but fucking evergreens in El Paso. It pisses me off.
You should come to Minnesota, see all the trees.
There are all sorts of I'm gonna go. You know what? I wanted to go during the summer,
Yeah,
It's not working out. I think I'm officially gonna try and go during the fall because then it'll be orange, and I've never seen like a real fall. You know,
If you come in
that'd be cool
October,
too.
it'll be orange.
That's probably the best bet, honestly.
Yeah, but don't go when I'm going to El Paso to visit.
That's the other problem is that we're going. Celeste's birthday is in October, so then like I don't know when I would go. But anyways, I'm not going for a week, especially if you're working that week. I'll go for like if you could get like the weekend off, I'll go like Thursday to Monday or some shit. Anyways, in El Paso, El Paso's fucking desert. I'm not sure there would be any trees at all if there wasn't a city there, other than like desert bushes and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, probably.
But in other places where it's not a fucking desert, yes, those are real trees that just are planted. They're on their own, not purely through human intervention.
Well, this is my first time living at a place that's not a desert, so
like a lot of the trees there are probably a lot of the trees in Minnesota are probably just regular real trees.
No, I need to drive more just because the only times that I've driven here in Minnesota have been like I've passed just like a bunch of fields. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't just like wilderness.
Well, I don't know where the Great Plains are of the U.S., but I think it might be kind of in that area.
Anyways,
like North Dakota, South Dakota.
Moral of the story is the government's listening to us. Aliens are real. Octopuses are aliens, and the big companies are planting boy trees to make us pay for allergy medicines. And that was the topic of this video. And Oscar should be a professor in some kind of science. Thank you all.
And you're allergic to cum.
And you're allergic to cum. Okay. Thanks for listening. We'll see you guys next time. Comment. Never mind. Like, comment, and subscribe.
I didn't share any of my conspiracy theories.
Well, you spent too long lecturing. We'll have a part 2. Next episodes will be Oscar's conspiracy theories.
No. Hold on. Have you heard the Disney Frozen conspiracy theory?
That it's Tarzan's parents?
Oh, no. That's not a conspiracy theory, you goofy motherfucker. That's just canon shit. However, I like that one. No. You really haven't heard about this. People claim that Walt Disney, the person
was a
who
pedophile,
created the company. No. Why?
I don't know, because you said I never heard it.
You were so quick and so set on that.
I was like, I've never heard it.
And like you seemed like you had just come to terms with it immediately. Anyways, Walt Disney is like in like a cryo chamber, like frozen, like preserved, like hypersleep. And that people were like suspicious of it, and they would Google like Disney Frozen, like Walt Disney Frozen cryo chamber, whatever the fuck. And so they made the Frozen movie so that when people Google Disney Frozen, the by and large first result is the movie.
The movie. What?
And not Walt Disney.
That's crazy.
Here's the thing. This is why I hate conspiracy theories.
Because people believe it's true or what?
No. Let's say they did make the movie because Walt Disney is frozen in a cryo chamber. Now what? What are we going to do? We're going to go find him?
Yeah.
We're going to break him out?
Let's storm Disney.
Why?
Let's storm Disney. I bet he's in one of the castles pretending to be Snow White. You know?
Oh yeah, yeah. Some other I think there is some bullshit about that. Like he's cryo chamber frozen underneath the fucking princess castle or some bullshit. Like there's other shit like that.
No, but like real talk, I'm sure there are. I wonder if like in the glaciers and they just haven't like been unfrozen yet. Because I'm sure in that land glacier that you're
there's
talking
something
about,
in there somewhere.
There's like and like I don't think like they'll unmelt and then like be alive again. But I do think
there
like it'll be like still intact because it's in ice. You know what I mean?
I'm sure that's a thing.
Like especially now that
I
was gonna say now that the glaciers are melting, like there's this concern for like diseases that we've never what's it called? Why are you laughing so much? Anyways.
Yeah, shit. I thought you were gonna be like, now that the glaciers are melting, we'll see if anything pops
up.
Like,
no. Well, yes. But like, there's this concern of like diseases that we like don't even know how to like fight anymore because like whatever. Yep. But then also like, I feel like, imagine if there were like fucking winter Iceland dinosaurs, and then we'll be able to see like an intact one. You know, that would be cool.
That would be cool.
Right? And that bitch has feathers.
There's the Disney Frozen theory that's something I thought you might like.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't write shit down. I just started Googling shit and I was like, oh yeah, that's a thing. Maybe we could talk about that. But this all, I didn't expect to have so much to say.
I know. I think had all the topics or all of the ones except for this last one, but I think you talked more than I did in this episode.
Anyways, we could potentially do a part 2 if Sophia has more shit that she wants to say.
No, that was all the ones I had.
No, I let you talk. No, I let you.
You let me talk, but like I feel like there were definitely
I just had so much more to say.
Yeah, there was definitely lengths of time where like I was just listening. But,
I don't talk to anyone throughout the week, guys, so this is where
I can tell.
I get it all out. No, I'm just kidding.
He's not. But yeah. That's it. Just chop where I had the outro. Just move.
Nah, do it again.
Do it again?
Yeah, just real quick. Go.
Okay. Well, that's it for today's episode, guys. We hope you enjoyed it. Like, comment, and subscribe.
No, wait, I wasn't listening. Just kidding. Go ahead.
Comment if you think Oscar should get a degree in teaching and like hold classes in a university, and if you would like listen to them, because I think he could do that. But anyways, that's it. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.